we're good. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're well. It seems like random times in our life, we might have a lot of free time and even might feel kind of bored at moments. And in those moments, it's like, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's always important to get busy on your purpose, and just getting busy is good for your mental health too. But what I'm going to talk about is, you've always had a huge heart, and that has been your biggest strength and your biggest detriment. And Satan knows, and God knows, Satan knows that you have a huge heart, and he knows in the past that you were more giving, and which is a good trait to have, but he knows that you could have been easily taken advantage of. And he knows that you gave all your energy when you had none, when your lamp wasn't filled, when your cup wasn't filled. And sometimes God will isolate you, and you might have a quote-unquote bored season of not doing anything, or maybe you're working a part-time job, maybe you're doing other stuff, but like, the reason why things are the way they are is because God knows you grew up in a dysfunctional environment. Not saying all of you did, but I'm saying that, like, me a little bit. God knows that you grew up in an environment where you were overly giving, and that's a great trait to have, but he knows that people, took advantage of your generosity and kindness. And he knows that you were on days just feeling so drained, you felt depressed, you had none to give. But meanwhile, you're giving all your energy to people that weren't reciprocating anything back to you. And I'm not necessarily talking about your family, although that could be it, but it could be friendships, relationships, etc. So God wants you to have a season, a time where you could just rest, to heal, not to be lazy or anything, but just to strengthen where you might have been a little weak, to help you grow, help you heal. Because he knows that that the world's going to prey upon your generosity. So God had to teach you hard lessons and show you, the truth about who people really are, so you could learn from that and grow. And especially circumstances, everybody's situation's different, but there's been times in your past where you felt so incredibly drained, so incredibly tired, and people around you were saying, didn't really even appreciate you for all your hard work. They didn't even appreciate your friends or your peers growing up, or they dimmed your light, and you're around people having fruitless conversations that drained your spirit all your life. And God will remove people for a reason. The enemy, Satan, he knows that you have a big heart, and he knows that you'll go above and beyond initially you used to. You'll no longer get taken advantage of. But Satan knows that you have a big heart, and he's going to try to send people your way to try to make you act out of character, put you into situations that are unfruitful. But God knows that your strengths, and he knows where you struggle at. So that's why he's isolating you right now, to help heal you. If you have chronic illness, or if you have things that you're working on, or just trying to overcoming horrible situations, God will isolate you. And I noticed that, at least for me, that different situations in my life, I've always felt pretty good about myself, but there was times where I'm an overly giving person. I used to be, where I was trying to do things out of the kindness of my heart, and I wasn't really taught to show, to set boundaries per se, so I learned things the hard way. I'm not holding grudges against anybody. What I'm saying is that you'll have a season in your life where you'll have a lot of alone time, and time where you can work on your business, work on your physical health, your mental health, all these things that are trying to elevate you, God wants to prosper you, not to harm you. Now, let's get on good old H2O. The times when you were overly giving, you felt so drained doing that, and it's just, you thought people were just like you growing up, and you thought people were just like, they thought like you, and then you were in for a rude awakening, which was definitely not true. And people, this, God knows people didn't truly appreciate you for you, and you were probably in a situation where no one truly appreciated you for you, and they were taking advantage of your gifts and talents for their personal gain and for their, like, this attention, for that matter. But it's okay. Like, I want you to work hard, and like, you should work hard, get busy, but don't beat yourself up just because you feel like other people are getting ahead in life or this, that. Of course, you should not be lazy. You should love yourself, work out, eat healthy foods, but always get busy. But also, don't beat yourself up too much if you see these people from your past seeming like they're getting ahead of life. That's just an illusion they portray on social media and this, that. It's all crap, man. It's all an image. It's all a show. You know, God has you in this isolation season for a reason, and He has you having a lot of, you know, quote unquote bored alone time, because you need it. You deserve it for all you went through. Like, if you were to tell people all you went through and explain it, like, they just wouldn't understand. And I mean, some people wouldn't, but like, I don't want to get overly thinking one way or the other. You know, I try to think rationally, and I know that I could be wrong sometimes, but I know God shows me things, and I'll take heed to that. Because if your mental, physical, and spiritual health is out of whack, you're doing something wrong. I'm telling you. And that means you gotta make some changes. Such a pretty day here. I should make more videos out here like this. It'd be cool. South Texas. But don't feel bad if you're in a season where you don't have too much going on. Take this time. I would recommend this to get closer to God, journal, work out. No, taking a job's not always a bad idea. Making some money, getting busy. Like, these things aren't bad. But just because you're bored right now, don't invite bad company that didn't appreciate you in the past back into your life just because you're bored for a season, or you have nobody or no friends right now. Because God's, like I said before, God's removes certain people in your past for a reason, because they truly didn't appreciate you for you, and they didn't really love or have your best interest at heart. All they did was just cause havoc, confusion, and of course you have to take some personal accountability too. Like, no one forces you to hang out with these people. Like, for instance, for me, I chose to hang around toxic people, like in high school and a little after. No one put a gun to my head saying hang out with these people. So there's that too. But also, I think it's important to know that shame and guilt and trying to make yourself feel bad all the time, you're always trying to justify yourself and over-explain yourself to some people and overly be this, that, you know. God wants you to be bold. He wants you to, like, prosper. And of course, there's trials and tribulations in life sometimes, but take this time and be grateful. Like, you escaped the bad situation, you overcame that. Thanks be to God. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. Don't let anyone make you feel bad just because you don't have a lot of friends, or just because you left a toxic situation and people are trying to guilt you for it. So, guys, just be careful out there, and yeah, have a have something in mind and remember that you were loved, and you deserve this time to heal, and you deserve this time to just have fun, just like live life, you know, go for a hike, and the small things in life, you know. God knows that what your soul and where you desire, like what you want, He knows what you need, and He's giving it to you. It just might take a little bit more time than you think, because you gotta have this isolation period, it seems, first. But I'm gonna end this video here, and I created a school community, Prayer Warriors. It's a cool community, awesome people there, and yeah, we basically pray over people, environments, and just the power of prayer and intercession, and just talk about life and things in general of that sort. But anyway, my friends, hope this video finds you well. I love you all so much. Peace, and God bless you.